sorry. I'll try harder. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Everything is just fine.
This call is being recorded.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Urban Retcon Squad. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf, one half of the Deaf Fresh Show. As always, I'm always joined by my boy from Adventures of the Black Nerd, Mr. BaronJ 67. And of course, if you tuned into last week's episode, we do apologize for it being long because when you've been gone that long, you got shit to talk about. Our newest recruit from the Urban Social Science. You know what? You need a new damn name.
Just look for us. Just look for us on the Tone Deaf Network, and we are there.
Bro, I need that shirt. Look for us, and we are there.
Look for us, and we are there. We gotta get you an icon or something, dog, because it has to say something. But as always, you know, every once in a while, when my other half of the DFS is off work, he's in the building with us. So also we got Mr. Young Fresh Fly in the building with us today. What's going on, everybody?
Woo! We live, man. I am here, and I found out some troubling news that we got somebody here who hates Black Panther.
Like, dog, she legitimately hates dog. I give her a pass.
It's for solid reasons.
I give her a pass because, one, the marriage was rushed, and two, the divorce was even more rushed.
Exactly.
And that whole marriage, they basically did simplify Storm to make her fucking basically not worth anything. Like, you are the weather witch. Like,
you are a goddess. You come from a line of goddesses.
You control the earth, period. You can take the air from around him if need be, but you out here acting like Tina Turner and shit, you know. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Hey, bro, can she stop the plant from growing? The power of the plant. She could just ruin the whole bloodline.
She can if she want to,
bro. What if she would have did that on the way out? Like, like that. Okay, well, no more Black Panther.
Hey, fam, what if she was on some Planeteer shit and basically made each one of her new X-Men squad? Because you know she led a whole squad of herself.
X-Men
all be Planeteers and shit. Like, she only took 5 people. She got an Asian, a redhead, a white dude,
and they got to combine to summon her.
And she only comes save their ass once. I'm just saying.
Throw your powers in the air and I don't know where to be. Look west.
Angel and Dog actually act as Captain Planet, and that's how they do shit. No, that's so fucking terrible.
I would watch the hell out of that.
I feel like that would be a train wreck. You just have to see how far it's gonna go.
Yes.
Right.
And then she gotta come down and like be anti-Earth and like have a fur coat or something. I need that.
Dog, she just gonna show up like she about to go to the club and shit, my nigga.
Yes, be the flyest thing on earth. Show up like you rang.
Hey, if she show up with a fur coat, I'm here for it.
That's what I'm saying. I need this.
She's just gonna stunt.
This would be the X-Men nigga. Black Jesus. I need this. I need it bad.
So I'm so here for the fur coat.
Dog, but because you know what? The crazy part about it is I can see, like, she actually out on a real date with some regular, ordinary people, dog. And you know Xavier, old nosy ass, be all in people's minds and shit. So dog gonna call her while she literally about to get her groove on. So it's like, X-Men, I need you. And it's like, bitch, I'm trying to fuck right now. But then, you know, all of a sudden he fucks with dude mind and puts him in a coma, or he drool it on the couch because, you know, Xavier do foul shit like that, though.
Yes,
he does. He does.
He'll do some bogus ass shit like that. So then all of a sudden, you know, she ain't gonna fly there because she just gonna drive dude Lamborghini or some shit, and she step out the car with this fur coat on and be like, nigga, what? What do you want, body lock?
All
Bam.
the fossil fuels.
Damn. What the fuck you want, B?
She got a Hummer. What a V12?
Bro, that is not environmentally sound.
I know. That's what makes it better.
He trying to fuck and this nigga hating, dog. That's why she don't get no fuck. Like, what you need me for, dog? And then it'd be some crazy ass shit like, yes, Storm, Aurora, I need you. You're the only one who can do this. Can you make these clouds go away so we can have our barbecue?
Bitch.
Have you seen all the memes with Storm?
Yes.
Dog, have you when Scott trying to learn some shit and she has to keep correcting him? She has to keep black explaining that nigga? Dog. Funny as shit.
Because Scott is every white man ever.
Facts.
Yeah.
He is the epitome of toxic male masculinity, dog. He is.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
But no, one of these days, before the summer is over with, we gonna sit down and we gonna actually talk about the rise and fall of Scott Summer, because it ain't his fault. Because everything about Scott is basically what happens when
he
you
got
follow
daddy
Professor
issues,
X.
mommy issues, brother issues. The whole
So should his
summer's
name
fine.
really been Kyle? Like, I'm surprised he ain't punched a hole in the wall.
Check this out, though. Scott
He was in a
Summers was so
foster home.
distraught. Scott was so distraught that when Jean died, he went and married a clone of Jean. He dated a woman that looked like Jean. Okay, he had a whole baby by a whole nother woman that he didn't left when Jean came back.
And that's why Cable hates him.
Dude got 2 kids by 2 different women that are made from the same DNA.
Yeah, because, see, I love Rachel Summers. Like, that's my girl. But, like, I just feel so bad for her because her life is so janky.
Not her fault, B.
It's not.
Not her fault. But since we're talking about Scott Summers and his terrible choices in life, we're going to talk about his first true love today on this episode of Urban Retcon. And we're going to actually kind of dissect and dive into not only just the story of Jean Grey, but the story of the Phoenix herself. If you've been under a rock or you actually like good movies, you probably didn't know that the last edition of the X-Men series came out. I mean, from what I've been told, it's not a bad movie, but unfortunately, it's did the worst at the box office simply because we're at the end of an era of bad X-Men movies done by Fox that we really just don't get no fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, what do people expect? Like, I'm pretty sure they were sitting in their big executive chairs like, we put out 7 shitty movies. Even if this one is decent, ain't nobody going to see this.
Well, let's dissect the old X-Men movies before we dive into Jean Grey. One of the biggest. No, we got to do it. We got to do it.
We have to talk about it.
We got to talk about it, but we'll make it quick.
No, we don't.
We'll make
we
it quick.
got to talk about how bad they were so we can appreciate how good Dark Phoenix was.
All right, so one of the biggest things about movies, people, before we got on this 10-year Marvel run was any superhero-based movies did not follow the continuity of what was already given to us. A lot of our comic book-based movies, the directors thought that they wanted to do what they thought was best for the audience, and a lot of times adapted their own story. What ended up happening was you'll get a brand new telling of a story that's more so focused on the stars of the movie, not the characters of the movies. So if you were to go back right now and try to watch the first 3 movies, you would tend to see people like Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, what is fucking Magneto's real name from the original?
Ooh.
Ian McGregor or something like that.
You'll see these
some old white guy.
Some old white guy. Hey, he's one of the dopest old white guys. Period. Though.
I didn't say he wasn't dope.
I will rock with anything in. The thing about it is the movie's focused around these 3 characters throughout the whole movie. Now, don't get me wrong, people. Wolverine is a pretty dope dude, but if you ever really pay attention to the actual X-Men storyline, Wolverine is not as a major of a player as you think.
No.
He did not become a major player in comic books like we look at him now until the X-Men movies, because you had to make Hugh Jackman, who is your star, the star of the series.
And can we talk about how Wolverine is like a 5'1" dude with a
Danny DeVito.
With a bad disposition. He is not 6'2" or however tall Hugh Jackman is, and like muscular and all that stuff.
Look, when you're a midget, okay? When you are a midget, when you are too tall to get midget disabilities, but you don't remember where you came from, so you can go to your country and properly file your taxes and stuff like you're supposed to. So now you owe taxes everywhere. You can't die.
Child
Okay,
support everywhere.
like Lord knows how many real kids he got. We only know about like 4 of them. We claim they were cloned. But let's be honest, Wolverine was fucking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Big time.
you not like 400 years old and you ain't been fucking. Okay, you not.
Giving out them animanium pumps.
And this was even before he had all that metal shit. Like he was over in Japan dumping mad dick and many Asian bitches. Okay, that's the whole real reason why the samurai was after him, was because he knocked up his daughter, and he was like, "Dog, fuck you." Think about it, dog. Yuriko went and changed her whole look, and he was dating her before. So that's a bitch that's scorned. Okay.
She heard.
But at the end of the day, though, when you think about it, when you've been a loner for so long, you don't know how to socialize. And then you got the Weapon X program that forced him to socialize with, depending on who's telling the story, his brother, who might not be his brother, who might just be the nigga who lived in the shed, or he might be the person whose house your daddy used to work for. We don't know. We don't know. But it's like somehow him and Sabretooth been kicking it for years. You know?
Decades.
Like years, dog. Like them niggas didn't have beef. I think he even took his name at one point in time. That was terrible. Terrible human being. Very terrible human being. So, because it was Hugh Jackman, we had to care about Wolverine more than we should have. But if you are a true kid of the 90s, you kind of already cared about him anyway. For some odd reason, a 400-year-old man, your typical white asshole from New Jersey, and a redheaded stepchild is in some kind of love triangle in one of my favorite cartoons of all time for no damn reason.
Bro, did you just call Scott Summers a douchebag?
Bruh.
Yeah.
Scott is a douche, dog.
Yeah.
He is the Zach Morris.
I'm just mad that
X-Men.
you described him as a guy from the Jersey Shore.
He's an asshole.
He called him DJ Pauly.
That's who he probably would be if he didn't have eye blasts.
Well, he was DJ Slim Summers in college, so
See, dude, I'm out. No wonder his brother won't hang out with him.
Yeah,
So, unfortunately, the first 3 movies told this love triangle story from the perspective of Jean really wants to get with this old dude, more so than telling the story of an old dude creeping on a couple that's already together. But there was other key people in the movie who should have had more focus, and they didn't. Such as Rogue should have played a major character in a lot of the movies, when she really didn't. I mean, she was a MacGuffin in the first one, and then it was like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing X-Men movies and go do True Blood.
Which I'm grateful for, but they did chomp her out.
Yeah, like they really wrote her completely out, and I feel like they shouldn't have did that. The fact that, and let's be honest, as much as Renee rides for Storm, Storm had no purpose in any of the X-Men movies.
In the original X-Men movies, I was just more upset with those terrible wigs.
Ooh.
You wasn't gonna get Mohawk.
Halle Berry has made a movie career out of terrible wigs.
So why are you upset? You seen this was coming.
That is
it's in her contract.
What does it say? Give me $20,000 to wear this terrible wig?
Yep.
Man, I can't wait to sell out on y'all. That's all it takes. 20 G's with a bad wig and an Instagram pic? Y'all got me. So
hey, yo, I'm already there, man. Like, some things you gotta sell out for.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I know you shouldn't sell your soul, but man, price is right. I'm taking a picture with Trump, man. I swear to God. I'm already, man.
He said, I'm on it.
I'm kind of mad at you, but I also understand at the same time. So
2.2 in a pick. That's it. That's all y'all want is a pick. 2.2. I don't care how you feel about me after this pick. I got $2.2 million, and we party.
On it.
Are you gonna break TDR or something? That's all I need to know.
I got you, bro.
That's all I need to know. Because if we come up from you taking a photo with the white orange man, cool.
Right.
Winning.
See, you
Because
forget all that
Trump is
when
definitely a
come
mutant. He's more like a Morlock, but he's definitely not normal.
I can see that.
Trump is
I'm
the
shocked
Morlock.
there isn't a
He
dope
wouldn't even be one that could go up to the surface to like carry out a mission. He's like that motherfucker that's in a dark corner just hissing at people.
Nigga, you can't trust. You just put him on door security. Like, yeah, you just stay here, bro, and keep tabs on who come in. And make sure the punch bowl stay full. Yes. Like, bro, get this nigga out of here, dog.
It makes you itch when you see him.
Like, fam, move around, dog. Like,
Stop staring at me like that.
Like, dog would be a horrible Morlock. Like, they would not even let that nigga out the house, dog. Like, how'd he get up? How'd he go topside? He's their problem now.
He's the third head on Ghidra.
He's their problem now. That's all they would say.
That's all you can say.
He's their problem now.
They gonna try to send him back. Oh no, Callisto gonna say, I ain't never seen that nigga before.
I don't know what you're talking about. He not with us.
He's not here.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, but real talk though. So one of the biggest travesties that most folks are highly upset about in the original X-Men movies was the depiction of not only Jean Grey, but the depiction of the Phoenix.
You
themselves.
didn't like her like 20 years older than Scott?
Look,
savagery.
Look, fam, they killed Scott off ASAPishly. Okay?
Yeah.
That which has never happened. Like, as much as we want Scott dead, because if you read this nigga comic history, you want that nigga dead plenty times. Okay?
Yeah.
Just die. Like, he was worse after Jean died than he was when she was alive.
That's very true. And you know who else he's terrible with? He's terrible as hell when he's with Emma Frost.
Because she's evil.
Yeah, she was an old Hellfire Club slut.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows how to manipulate. At one point in time, she was, but then she tried to redeem herself and realized like all her hoish ways can't be washed away with a vag steaming. So she had to go, do the right thing. So she's out here trying to, amend things and whatnot. But so Renee,
what's up?
You are definitely a huge fan of not only the Phoenix, but the Dark Phoenix saga. For the listeners out here, run down the saga as best way as you could.
All right, comics or movie?
Comics, because we're going to talk movies a little bit.
Okay. So the Dark Phoenix, or the Phoenix itself, is this entity in space, and it can't be controlled at all, but somehow it can only be controlled by Jean Grey because she's a more a stronger telepath than Charles Xavier, but Charles kind of keeps her like right underneath him because no one person should have all that much power, but you see how he likes to play God. So basically she gets the Phoenix. It's always they're in space doing something, and she gets the Phoenix, and then it's like her personality changes because when the Phoenix goes inside of her, all those walls that Charles put up are broken. And so it's basically a scared little girl in an adult body, not knowing how to react to all this power. Because, like, when those walls get broken down, she's basically like, what, 10 again?
Yep.
So that's pretty much the Dark Phoenix saga.
All right, so basically, to sum it up in a nutshell, this is some super space shit that's been here at the beginning of the time. Light white meat and decided to get his freak on with a little white redhead. White redhead liked it, started wilding the fuck out.
Yep.
Burnt some shit down, ate a whole sun, destroyed the planet.
I really wanted to see
And a
that
whole
scene. I
species.
really wanted to see her eat the planet. Dude, because, like, that's crazy.
But you know why they didn't do it in the movie? They
Why?
didn't do it in the movie because at the end of the day, they didn't want to over-villainize Sophie. Because at the end of the day, we have to remember that the Dark Phoenix is just doing what it's supposed to do, but there's consequences for everything it does. Like, the Phoenix was hungry, so it went to go eat a sun. Unfortunately, by eating the sun, it blew up like 3 planets, and one of them was completely inhabited. So a whole race of species was gone. Which is why the Shi'ar actually got involved.
Yep.
Yeah, but the Phoenix in itself, well, not the Phoenix, Jean in herself has an eating disorder.
Typical white woman.
Like, come on, man. like she for real. What is it? When she binges and purges, what's that one called? What's that one when they binge and purge? Yeah, she's a terrible bulimic, and everybody knows it. And it's like, that's one of like the family secrets nobody talks about, why Jean goes to the bathroom after dinner.
Typical. See, that is the thing about Charles Xavier that pisses me off. Fam knows that people are having natural, normal, human, fucked up moments, and dog just lets that shit slide. Okay, because let's sit back and think about it. First of all, you create an army of mutants.
Right.
Teenagers.
Child army, yeah.
Okay, so most of these people are just coming into their powers and not understanding what they can do. And then immediately when you was like, oh, that little bitch right there gonna be strong. Let's make her not know about this shit here at all. Okay?
Yeah.
He blocks all that shit up. That's why I think it's bullshit that he's never been able to help repair Wolverine's memory. No, that motherfucker be in there putting walls back up. Because for somebody, think about it, dog. For somebody who can regenerate himself from mere nothing, all he needs is a speck of his original self, and he can regenerate himself back. You telling me that your mind can't fix itself?
Hey, no lie. Every time I look at Charles Xavier, all I hear is that Juggernaut video. Charles, Charles, you got me. He said, Charles,
So wait.
Oh, but let's also talk about.
Wait.
I have a question, Tom.
Go for it.
Interesting. So you know how they said that the original concept, the X-Men, were based on like how Charles Xavier was supposed to be like Martin Luther King and Magneto was like Malcolm X.
Yep.
So is him mind fucking these mutants, which were technically niggas? Is this another form of slavery? I think I figured it out. This is slavery.
Yes, because pay attention to society right now. Black people are distracted by technology, which is basically Charles Xavier's telepathic capabilities. He's blocking their minds from the truth. Boom.
We ain't supposed to be here.
Boom. This is what happens when niggas get together.
You need to go find Marcus Garvey and find that boat he was trying to get us on.
Hey, what mutant would have been Marcus Garvey then? Because he just wanted to go back. He just wanted to go back to Africa. So technically,
it would be movie Magneto.
Yep, it would be movie. It would be Genosha. It's when Magneto decided to say, "Fuck them humans, let's just go make Genosha." Mm-hmm. He did.
Yep.
Fuck them niggas over there. Let's just go make Genosha.
Can I just make a side comment real quick? I'm just so upset about
that Magneto had so many kids and he didn't want to be their daddies. I know that bothers me too.
No, it's okay. Hell, I might be Magneto's kid if that's the point. But But what really gets me is that you can't really have any of this Infinity War stuff without the House of M. And that just really upsets me.
Thank you.
Set tone free.
Yes. Thank you. She gets it, Baron.
Yep.
She gets it.
No, because X-Men is a cornerstone building block for everything Marvel.
Yep.
Facts.
No arguments. No lies detected. No.
Well, when you don't own stuff, you have to work around the system.
And we get that. We get it.
Okay. So now I gotta ask. Speaking of owning stuff, I'm so happy you said that.
On your mattress, people.
Why didn't we just get the real Emma Frost? What was up with bootleg Emma?
Which one? Talking about in
Dark Phoenix.
I don't know.
I don't know, because I thought that was her.
It was her until they said her name.
You know, I really did like seeing Dazzler though. That was cool.
Yeah.
See, and that's my thing. Like, you have key
Dazzler,
X-Men that could have been sprinkled forever, but you give us Dazzler. Dazzler has been probably the second most useless mutant in history.
I mean, come on, let's look at it like this. So Dazzler was at a point where it was all about the disco. She got replaced by Jubilee, which was the 80s mall rat.
True.
Damn, you own it.
Now you see why she got drafted.
Damn. Respect. Jeez, man. I got a fist up right now and everything.
She was. But even then, when they first introduced the Jubilee, because y'all remember that terrible Aussie Wolverine for that short-term cartoon they tried to create, Dazzler was part of the original squad. But I don't know why that one didn't get off the ground. But that was a terrible ass cartoon. I'm kind of glad it didn't get off the ground. But she was supposed to be a part of the original team. But dude, her whole superpower is shooting beams of light out of her fingers and going pew pew.
I mean, but she's like some kind of vampire whore now, so that entertains all of her many children.
God damn.
So
Who writes this shit?
How? First off, how did she get bit? She emits light. She should have been saved.
Well, I mean, she went down there with Nathaniel Essex.
Oh, how did she end up with him?
I guess
I don't know.
When your
and
game
we didn't
is
even
strong,
get Essex. We didn't even get Essex. What movie did they show his company? They showed his.
Well, they gave us Trask. They gave us Trask, and that was supposed to be like, you know.
Okay, a connection. Got it. Because remember, it was on the briefcase, but I forgot which movie.
That was Days of Future Past.
That was the end of like the live X-Men movie. I remember going to see that in theater.
Does it matter anymore, though?
Nah.
That was like one of the cut scenes. And everybody's like, oh, should they go into the 90s?
I really wanted them to do some Sentinel stuff. I thought that would have been cool.
Well, if they would have kept the rights to it, I think the Sentinels was bound to come. But the whole thing was with them rebooting the X-Men with First Class and whatnot. Or was it First Class? Oh, Days of Future Past. They were kind of trying to go away from the Sentinels.
I mean, but you can't have that situation without Sentinels. That makes no sense. That does not compute.
And that's why you don't have that situation.
Yeah.
See, that's the failure of the X-Men franchise, because they would not give key things to it. Like, as much as we've had like 8 different X-Men storylines, they all still had a core point that you have to pull it from. And cinema movies refuse to go to the core. Like, no, we'll create our own story. Yeah, we were able to cast this guy, and this guy, so we'll build our story around it.
We need an X-Men nobody's heard of. Let's just pull one out the hat.
And believe me, they did.
Or not make major connections. Like, how are you gonna have Juggernaut but not even touch remotely on the relationship between him and Charles?
Don't get me wrong. The Deadpool one, perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was the most correct. Yeah. Big time.
Perfect way to do it. You want to know why? because you didn't need to know that he was an X-Men. You just need to know that this is an unstoppable force.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all you needed. And I liked it. And I really did. Should Colossus have went toe-to-toe with him? Yeah.
Yes.
Should he have won? Nah.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Thank you.
Hey,
That was the
Juggernaut's
funniest
not
fight
dead.
scene that I didn't clearly see. That was easily one of the best, funniest fight scenes that you just didn't get the full scope.
That's the one I want to see. That's the movie we wanted.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's the movie we wanted. But, getting back on point and whatnot, because we really have not touched the topic.
I apologize.
It's not your
Sorry,
fault
guys.
because Jean Grey is actually quite depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, she is quite depressing, and that's life. Where the fuck is
We're just gonna be quiet on that. Like,
Oh, I mean, what are you supposed to say? R.I.P. No.
Now, okay.
She killed-
Oh, I
she
forgot.
She killed everybody.
Okay.
Boom, it's over. I thought.
This is okay. Here's one of our
Oh,
major
yeah.
problems with the X-Men movie that I kind of completely forgot about, and I don't know how I forgot about it because it's the biggest fucking problem. Mystique is never a good guy.
Thank you.
that's very true. That is very true. Once Mystique gone, she gone.
Okay. That was, and I get it. I 100% get it. You cast a really great person to play Mystique with Jennifer Lawrence, and it's the best acting you will ever get from her dumb ass. So we gotta get our money's worth out of her. The problem
Wasn't she
is
in the
her,
Hunger Game.
yes,
Yeah.
bruh.
She was the
And
favorite.
that's what it was. Coming from her major role in the Hunger Games, moving her to be the new Mystique for the past, you couldn't make her the villain because you had to make the reason why she turns on everybody. And a lot of people were not ready for Jennifer Lawrence to play a bad person. I don't even think Jennifer Lawrence wants to play a bad person.
Man, I really just wanted them to touch on the fact that she's Kurt's mother in the movies.
Thank you. They
Dude.
even had his dad.
They blew. Okay. Like right away, even if you're ignorant, you're supposed to say, "Oh, they're related."
Is that your mom? Like, is that your sister?
Like you're just supposed to say it. Like, "Oh, they're related," and then you're supposed to
Like-
later find out, "Oh, well, they are. They're not. That's his mom." Oh shit! No, they didn't do it because they made her be besties with Charles Xavier as a little kid. That's not how this works, people.
Help me, I'm poor.
That's not how any of
That's
this
what they
works.
do.
What white
You
man
didn't
gonna
even-
just help
you
somebody because they say they poor?
Charles Xavier,
Yeah, that's true.
because he be mind fucking the shit out these kids.
The end dolls and the
Ooh.
they all based it around that Mystique had these powers, and they somehow got a drop of her blood. Mystique has never allowed herself to be put in a position where she can be weaponized. That is what makes Mystique so unique.
Yes.
Hey, do you think Charles ever asked her to like change into something like freaky?
I don't
Probably.
even, you know,
We talk about the same dude who was like, it was like a very brief run in the 60s where he was crushing on Jean Grey and hating on Scott.
this is true, dog. This old ass nigga was doing kanky stuff, dog.
Hey, you know what's funny? He ain't even got to hate. He could just literally jump into Scott's mind and do what he got to do. Do we even watch porn? He don't have to.
He makes porn in their mind. In their mind. He just
Shows up. You know
He's
what
a
time it is.
dog is, you know what, dog
Freddy
is a
Krueger
creep.
before he gets burned.
Dog is a creep in his head. Now think about it, dog would just show up and be like, "Ooh, they doing the nasty. I'm gonna watch in their mind," and just.
Hey, wait. Why don't none of the kids at the facility go to sleep? He's there. Oh, the door noise.
Charles.
Oh, God.
So this whole episode was supposed to be about Jean, but we come to realize that Charles Xavier is a perv, And
he's the reason for all the problems.
he is definitely.
Oh
my god! This whole episode just took a very dark, twisted turn.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
the name of the
Charles's
movie
powers.
was called The Dark Phoenix. So, I mean, I guess it's very apropos.
50 Shades of X.
Ew.
Got Charles touching his temple on the cover.
But I would read it though. I would
Doesn't even read it. That's too kinky for my blood.
Does The Weeknd still do that song that he did for the original soundtrack? Or
Dazzler would do it. You gotta keep it. You gotta keep it copacetic.
I'll make you a star. Just open up your mind. Follow me to the top.
That's a whole new definition. I open your mind.
Hey, wait. So was Charles a pimp?
I don't know, man.
I mean, he got a trail of ex-wives and non-claimed children, so maybe.
I mean, let's think. He was basically pimping out these kids for the government and the human race, and he was getting famous off of it.
Yeah, that is true. You know what? Now you think about it, Charles just wanted the fame. He didn't care about them kids. He didn't care about protecting them. He just wanted to be known as, hey, man, I tamed mutants. Anybody can work together now. So, yeah, that's all me.
So,
you know what? I don't even feel bad for how they was treating him in Logan now. Fuck that nigga.
You know, and I forgot about that. They was treating him like shit.
Oh, man. Oh. Hey, there's so many questions. Like, and you know what? They actually touch on that in Dark Phoenix. Beast calls him out about that.
About what?
About using people for the fame, for the clout.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he called him out, like legit, word for word. Told him, like, you just cared about you. You care about us. Mystique was
You don't
trying
even
to
care
protect you.
about us.
Man, he did hit the Michael Jackson.
So this whole time was Magneto really the bad guy?
No, I kept telling you that.
Yeah.
Magneto has never been the bad guy. If you take the concept, that mutants are black people, okay? The whole time, all Magneto wanted was black people to have equality. That's all he wanted.
True.
Treat us like we is. Leave us alone. Let's be honest. We're better than you. Accept it. No, Magneto. No, that's not how it is. We have to learn how to live and work with these white folks. We got to live in their world. Charles, shut the fuck up. We want our own shit. We need to do our own shit. Fuck these white people. Fuck this America. Fuck this government. We are better than them. Let me show you. I'll pick up a whole stadium, take their damn president, say, leave me the fuck alone, and then leave.
And bounce.
No. You can't do that. We can't prove to them that we're better than them. We got to act like they bitches. Charles, fuck you.
Screw you guys. I'm going to Genosha.
That's basically what he did. Like, fuck you,
That
Charles.
should be the title of the episode.
You guys, I'm going to Genosha. But I'm for real, dog. When you sit back and you honest to fucking God,
Logan, you trying to get the fuck out of here.
Canada.
This right here is where I need to be. You see this? I'm trying to go here. This is utopia.
Meanwhile, Logan, old ass says, you know what? Let me protect Charles from himself. Let me keep this nigga medicated. Let's hide out in the fucking desert. And you could just off that nigga a long time ago.
Saved everybody the trouble.
Imagine how the X-Men... If I'm not mistaken, ain't Professor X dead in the comics right now? Like, dead? Okay.
Yeah, he dead. He went off to, what's her name? Lilara or something?
Lalandra.
Yeah, her.
That's a sexy-ass name for an alien race that I've never heard of. Like, how many folks name their kids Lalandra after the 90s, dog? And if you say you came up with it on your own, you a goddamn lie. You were watching Volume 4 of X-Men.
Where did WWE?
True. That also happened during the 90s. So they might have piggybacked each other. That was Alondra. Lalandra. Hey, did you ever notice that the Shi'ar Empire was a bunch of big black folks?
Yeah, there was a Titans.
Yeah. If you honestly pay close attention, dude, comics were very Afrocentric back in the days. You just didn't realize it.
Oh yeah, big hair, big personalities.
As much of a racist as much of a racist Captain America is, he kicked it with a lot of Negroes, and he was cool with them. And don't sit here and tell me that Captain America is not racist, because me and the crew have ran it down that in so many words, because Captain America existed during the time when it was cool to be racist, he was racist.
Yeah, it had to be.
He is racist. He's still a racist. If you look at what he says now, he's just trying to absolve himself through Falcon.
The dude went back in time and didn't change nothing when it came to race relations.
You know what? That is true. That is a true statement. You could have did anything back in the day. You know how this shit goes.
And what you let it happen like normal.
And what do? You go live your racist life with your pale racist woman.
In your red line neighborhood.
Hey, look, man. First of all, as much as that is wrong, I don't blame Captain America. Like, look,
I don't blame him either.
I've been at ICE for like 70, 75 years, my guy. I got one chance to go back and make it right. I don't care who shot Martin Luther King. I don't care that Malcolm X said, "Get your hand out my pocket." I'm gonna go hang out with my woman and let life play out as it is.
Do you think he told her he smashed her descendant?
No.
Hey,
no.
Because if I'm not mistaken, by definition, it never happened, right?
Yeah.
Because wasn't Peggy her granddaughter?
Yeah.
Wait, no. But you know, there's a theory that he was always the old dude.
That is true. I remember.
Oh my God! There is
a theory. If you go back and you actually watch, they talk about that Peggy was married and she had kids, but they never show you who she was married to. So the theory is that Peggy actually married Cap.
There's a bunch of incest going on there.
I mean, they white.
I was just about to say, I was like, isn't that what all the Game of Thrones was about? Ancestry and taking land?
Half of it. Half.
There was some that other half. Huh?
There was some penis chopping and some niggas riding for they bitches. Okay. Because there was a black couple, nigga had no dick, but he was ready to go to war and burnt the whole city down for his woman.
Facts.
Okay. Best part of the last season.
I'm just happy he lived. Do you know how?
Why didn't he have a dick?
Because that was the Unsullied. That's like their definition.
Yeah. When they became slaves, the masters cut off all their dicks.
Ooh.
So they couldn't form. They didn't want the Mandingo effect to happen. You know how like when the white women was over here fucking on the niggas because they got sick of their man shit. They didn't want that happening. So the minute you become an unsullied slave, they chop your dick off.
Oh God.
Yeah, they can fight real well though.
I bet.
Cause they so goddamn angered.
What else do you have to do? Like, you can't smash, so you just in the field practicing your jab.
Like, you stabbing something, but you stabbing it with a sword, not your sword.
It's not yours.
Maybe they had strap-ons back in that time.
Yeah. She loved him either way.
True.
He must have had a mean tongue game.
I'm good.
That's what they say about little dick niggas. When your shit is small, you can eat like the rest. So I'm just a man trying to get my hustle on.
You a warrior.
I'm just a man trying to get my hustle on. But okay, so fuck Jean Grey, because apparently she's not that interesting.
Sad, but true.
Because we've attempted to try to do her story all this time. We've come to find out that the real villain of the mutants is Charles Xavier.
Charles.
and we blindly have been following this man. And now we have come to the realization that Scott Summers is 100% fucked up because of Charles Xavier. And what we're going to do next week, people, because I think we really have been... No, well, okay, we got a little bit more time. I got a couple more minutes. All right.
Didn't he watch his brother die in one of them movies?
It's the movies. We don't care.
It doesn't matter.
He died because of his woman. Okay. One, Jean Grey never killed Scott Summers. Never. Matter of fact, Scott Summers even gets the Phoenix himself.
Yep.
Okay. One of the greatest stories that will never be told is the X-Men versus the Avengers storyline.
Wait, which one? You talking about which one? You talking about A versus X, or you talking about the one that they're trying to like pump up now?
A versus X when you get the Phoenix 5. Because you want to know why it'll never get told? Because Aquaman did so damn good, we'll never get a true Namor movie. And you fucking need Namor.
And that bothers me.
You need Namor. He is such a fucking dick.
Yes.
I love him.
The way he squared, I think he black personally, but the way he squared off on Tony.
Yeah, dog. He done ran up on plenty niggas.
He said, I will bury the earth. Like, he's the surface. He said, try me. He was a goon.
So you think because of the success of Aquaman, we can't get another water movie?
No, I don't think so. They'll do an animated feature.
Yeah, because you got to remember, with the way Captain Marvel just went, a lot of people don't know the ending for Dark Phoenix got completely rewritten. Okay, because the way the ending of Captain Marvel did, damn near almost all the way up to the very end, is literally a carbon copy of how the Dark Phoenix was supposed to be.
Yep.
Okay. So they had to do a last minute rewrite in the end of how they want to end it. The rumors is the way that the original Namor story was written was similar to the way of the Aquaman story. So, and because we finally got a good Aquaman, and I'm not gonna argue, like, dog, Aquaman has been long overdue to have some fucking purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that they did. Like, they always portray dude on like the cartoons as a cheesy ass, who the fuck are you kind of guy.
It depends on what
when he gets his
watching.
arm cut off. He's going with the hook.
I'm not talking about like the comic book. There's different generations of Aquaman within the comic book. But for those who like me, I don't really read comics. So my introduction to Aquaman was the Justice League and watching him on the cartoon. And in the cartoon, he was terrible.
No, you have to watch. You have to watch Batman if you want a good Aquaman.
Yeah, like Aquaman they gave us on these Justice League, like early '80s, late '80s cartoons, he was trash.
Yeah,
because the Superman, Wonder Woman, nobody else mattered. It was just a bunch of niggas there.
Yeah, because I don't even think the Green Lantern really got any true play. And that's another person I want them to quit fucking around and just give us a damn good Green Lantern. Because the whole fucking core kicks ass.
Yep.
I just want John Stewart.
I think the reboot that they plan on doing next year, if it's still coming, it might be better. It's supposed to be like a buddy cop thing. That's what I'm hearing. That's why they've been looking for a black dude to play the Black Green Lantern guy.
Stewart.
So,
yeah. So Stewart is the most interesting one.
No, I can't say that now, because with the new literation, with the chick and the dude one.
The girl is cool. I like her.
I like her because she actually has PTSD.
Oh, yeah. Word.
Yeah, she has horrible anxiety.
Oh, yeah. Sound like he's a weirdo.
See,
because it's compelling to the story. Matter of fact, watch the new Justice League in the Furious 5 anime.
Oh yeah, with Starboy.
Yeah, I'm a motherfucking Starboy.
He went up into the pharmacy and the girl thought he was going to rape her.
Dog, that story is so fucked up. Yeah, dog, because he's from the future, so he don't know the primitive ways and stuff, and he has to take this medication or else he starts to forget shit. And he didn't take his medicine before he bounced. So he's starting to have these like little psychotic breaks and shit like that. Dog, Starboy has probably like the weirdest, best story.
Right. And he's like, oh yeah, I get it. It's the suit. You don't understand. Let me fix that. He pressed a little button and then he's like just standing there naked. And like the pharmacist just sprints out.
Like, I don't know who be doing these DC animes, dog, but they be pushing shit to the left that be funny as hell. Because when they did the Justice League versus the Teen Titans, Judas Contract.
Yeah.
Where, like, every time you turn around, fucking Nightwing and Starfire cracking sex jokes and shit.
See, I just wish the DC, the movie universe would take the same similar risk.
But I mean, let's be real. Marvel started off
Zack
rough
Snyder.
too.
It's fucking Zack Snyder. That fucking dick fucks everything up.
And
So
Marvel had 10 years of like we don't remember when they was trash, and I like keep
Facts.
it that way. For the sake of because it's just some things you just have to forget in life. Like for some reason, DC don't want to wipe the memories of them being garbage because they keep being garbage. Like if they would give us like 3 years of good movies, I personally will forget about every trash thing they did.
True.
And look to the future.
But the problem is the directors they pick, dog. You can't pick directors and then say, hey, make your own story, and then be like, oh, okay, what the fuck did we just do? Like you can't.
Like as much as we probably don't need Suicide Squad 2, I'll give it a shot because it's not Zack Snyder, it's James Gunn who did the Guardians of the Galaxy, and we know them was great movies.
Yeah.
So I watch it because of who's directing it. So I know it's not gonna go in such a crappy movie. It's not gonna go in such an off-brand direction.
Yeah, but for me, like I'm the weirdo that prefers the DC movies because they're gritty. I don't like the big family we all save the day group hug at the end of it, you know? Like cuz it doesn't work out like that.
Oh no, I'm 100% with you because I still think the best superhero movie ever was The Watchmen.
Yes.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between The Watchmen and anything else DC did. If you ever read the comic or at least looked at the graphic novel, you can tell that the movie was literally script for script.
Yeah,
the comic,
even the way
nothing
it was
shot. Nothing was changed. Nothing was edited. Nothing was said differently. This is what we came to see, and that's what you got. To the point where I can watch the graphic novel and watch the movie, and I'm perfectly fine. Okay.
Yep.
Whoever directed that stuck the character, stuck the storyline, didn't change shit. I mean, we could have had a little less blue penis, but you gotta take the good with the bad.
I think DC was in the right boat, but I think they just be scared to make certain moves.
I think the problem was
bean counters.
Yeah, is that in the fact that Marvel did so damn good, you had a bullseye on your back no matter what you did. They were never going to get recognized as a good movie. And if they did do a good movie, it was going to be, oh, you're copying Marvel. They didn't stand a chance.
Hey, sometimes you got to copy and paste. Like, just going back and watching how they got to the Justice League was like, this is going to end bad.
And that was it. They rushed
Superman, Man of Steel was decent. And I really don't like Superman movies, but that one was watchable.
And you know what? It was because it wasn't called Superman.
Instead of a standalone Batman movie, like the way they opened the Batman vs. Superman was dope. Because it was Batman's perspective of what Superman was doing in the sky. So I understood that. Now, why can't that just be a standalone Batman movie? Like, look, you messed up this entire city. Now I got to clean it up. Cool. But you wanted to give us Batman versus Superman, and now this whole driving point is some white chick named Martha.
Stop.
Why?
Zack motherfucking Snyder. That was all
like
him.
He was punching him in the face and was like, Martha. Wait, Martha? Oh, I gotta stop beating you down, bro. You know Martha too, that's my homie. I'm riding with the Jeep. Like, come on, fam, Martha. Oh,
like, dog, you had this alien beat. Now, if you want to do a Batman versus Superman, okay, and what you're saying, Juan, there's already a story out for what you just said, and it was done to perfection. It's called The Dark Knight Returns. Okay? If you read Frank Miller's variation of The Dark Knight Returns, you know what? I'll give you a pass. Go watch the animated version of The Dark Knight Return Part 2. Skip all the old man bullshit. Basically, in some words, here's the story. Superheroes can no longer superhero because they fuck up shit too much. Shut that shit down. If you're not going to work with the government, don't do it. Wonder Woman went back home to Themyscira. Aquaman is partying with his people down there. Soup works for America because that's what the fucker does. And Batman is supposed to sit his rich ass down and just be an old rich white man. He does it for 7 years and says, you know what? Crime has gotten out of fucking hand. The police can't handle it because these fuckers have snapped. They are worshiping the Joker and they doing all this crazy shit. And you know what? Fuck it. Alfred, get my shit. He goes out there.
my marriage wrong.
Hold my beer. And he goes out and he cleans up the city. He gets into a back alley brawl with the biggest, ugliest, mutated motherfucker and whoops his ass. To damn near the old man almost died. And in the process, he gets a new Robin. The White House is like, hey, man, I thought I told you to tell your boy to sit his ass down. Look, man, he's white, he's rich, he ain't gonna listen to me. Oh, he ain't gonna listen to you? Go make him listen. Soup rolls up down there as Clark, hollers at Bruce. It's like, hey, man, the president says chill out. Fuck you. Look, dog. Look, dog. You gotta chill out, or they go. Or I'm gonna have
middle finger to America.
It's like, hey, dog, chill out. I'm gonna have to come back here in the red and the blue, and then I might have to make you sit down. Fuck you. All right, dog. Look, you old. I'm old. You falling apart. I still got some kick in me, dog. Just sit down, man. Fuck you.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, dog. I'll be right back. The suit you see from BVS that Bruce had on is the same suit from The Dark Knight Returns. This motherfucker rides to the middle of Gotham, blows up two sides of the fucking bridge, so ain't nobody coming over here. This place is empty as hell. This motherfucker parks a tank at one end of the street, puts his fucking suits on, puts some kryptonite grenades on the end of his fist, punches the shit out of Clark, weakens him, and commences to whoop his ass.
He was about that action.
Then when he was done, he grabs Clark's bruised face. Tell your president, this is my city. Bounce.
Now, had they did a whole movie, that would have been like a great bonus scene of just Batman beating the shit out of Superman, and then we have Batman versus Superman. Because you know Superman can't take that ass with the lightning. He got to come back and get back.
I didn't want to give away the end because I want you guys to actually watch it. There's a trick to the end. It was a 100% plan between him and Clark, but that ass whooping was real.
Man,
that ass whooping was real. So for those of you guys listening, if you ain't got shit else to do, sometime this week, watch The Dark Knight Returns. You might be able to get the deluxe version, which is 3 hours long because it puts both of them together. But if you can't get the deluxe version, watch at least part 2, and that is your real Batman versus Superman. Shit, when we get done recording, I'm finna go watch it.
I'm actually about to go grab the kids and go get a pizza, bro. It's about to happen.
That
movie night.
That ass whooping was epic. This is also bonus fact: the debut of the female Robin. This was when you see her for the first time. But that ass whooping. Okay, this is why I will always say that the animated DC will blow anything Marvel can ever come up with out the water.
Million-fold.
Animated DC has continuity down to the science because the Damien saga is fucking flawless. All these individual movies have these individual things, but I call it the Damien saga because Damien's the only variable in every last one of them. So if you really people want to, and I didn't even give you the final theme about it. In the first version, the first part of the Dark Knight Returns, we also get the return and the exit of the Joker. But I'm not going to tell you how it goes down. Because the way they did the Joker storyline, fabulous.
Does anybody have any thoughts on the new Batman that we are going to get in the next future Batman movie?
I'm excited.
No, let's change this. How do you guys feel about this Joker movie?
I'm ecstatic.
I want to see it. Joaquin Phoenix is crazy, so I'm pretty sure he's going to do a good job.
He's played all levels of crazy, whether it was happily in love with a robot crazy, whether it was
that was crazy.
Oedipus Rex, like I'm loving my sister, I'm ruler of the world, crazy. We've seen, bro, he is built for this, which I never would have thought. But when it
wasn't he in Troy?
No, that was Channing Tatum.
He was
what?
No, I'm thinking about Eagle. I'm thinking about Eagle.
Yeah, I was like, wait, Channing Tatum was what?
Yeah, he played a Trojan soldier.
No,
Mr. I don't like sequels.
Who, Channing Tatum?
Yeah, Channing Tatum has said several times that he hates sequels.
Yet he was in 22 Jump Street.
Man, that's what I'm saying. You hate sequels, but you did 2 of these terrible Jump Street movies, and you agreed to do a Marvel movie. And most Marvel movies come with a sequel.
Shit, if your Marvel movie don't get a sequel, your Marvel movie sucked.
It had to struggle hard.
Shit, because some Marvel movies get triples. They trilogies.
Man.
Epic sagas.
That star power.
I'm just saying. Now, but some people today was a very interesting day. It was initially supposed to be the Dark Phoenix saga, which eventually turned into Batman whoops ass. But I want to thank everybody for he does. That's, you know what? I don't understand why niggas really still keep trying to test the bat, because he be taking on a whole alien species by himself.
Man,
bro, he got praised from Dark Side.
Batman said he got a trick for all you niggas who think y'all superheroes.
Hey, Batman's the reason why Superman.
He said, I beat up all y'all.
Dog, he has a contingency plan for everybody. He does. He has a contingency. Everybody. Like, he makes. That's terrible. I don't care how you look at it.
Man.
But anyway, make sure you check out all of our shows here on Tone Deaf Radio, on iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, Castbox, or wherever else you listen to your podcast here. Just type in TDR Network, and every fucking show will come up. God damn, we got a lot of shows, too.
Yeah, boy.
Make sure you check us out on SoundCloud as well. I don't know when Travis is ever going to be free so we can get another Black Nerds episode. I'm just going to invade that shit and play the part for a couple of weeks.
Oh, I'm down.
That way we can
not gonna be too happy, but we can make that happen.
Look, dog, it's been a month. The streets is watching.
Actually, we got one up last week.
Okay, you get a pass.
Yeah, we got one up last week.
Because after 14 days, I stopped looking.
I got you, and that's fair. I wasn't gonna tell you until off air, but we didn't shoot this week.
No, it's cool. Because Shit, me and Juan ain't shooting this week.
Ah, so okay, so it just worked out.
Yeah, me and Juan ain't shooting this week. Because I want to wait till our sister comes back from her vacation so we can ask some questions, do a little interview, the whole 9 yards.
I gotta miss an episode. Is this whole vacation?
No, you missed an episode because I'm gonna be fucking too tired doing her episode this week. Shit. Hell, we'll re-release this episode as a Death Fresh episode. Fuck. There, we done.
Run it.
All right.
That's lazy, bro.
Bruh, you out of all people know we work smarter, not harder.
Facts. I've been doing
Okay.
that since I got employed.
Fact. All right. With that being said, people, make sure you check us out every Monday at 8 a.m. is when our drop day is. We are back 100%. This is not just a short-term run. As you can see, we have a full staff here. Even Renee is in here fucking shit up. So, with that being said, we out, people.